The first blow. The galaxy had grown used to violence. Empires rose and fell, fleets clashed, worlds burned. Yet one species had remained curiously restrained: humanity. They had fought when needed, yes, but never with the rabid hunger for conquest others displayed. For centuries, the galaxy whispered of Earth as civilized, perhaps even soft. That illusion ended the day the Karzul arrived. The Karzul were predators, a species honed by war. Chitinous warriors bred for slaughter, their fleets carried firepower enough to strip atmospheres. When they stumbled across the human colony of Rhysos IV, they did not see civilians or farmers. They saw prey. They descended with fire and venom. Shields shattered, cities crumbled. The few orbital defenders were ripped apart like paper. Tens of thousands died screaming. Those who surrendered were mocked, dragged through streets as trophies. The Karzul broadcast their slaughter to the stars, an announcement of dominance, a warning to others. And most chilling of all, they executed Earth's envoy on live transmission. A diplomat, unarmed, unthreatening, slain not for strategy but for sport. The galaxy watched, and the Karzul laughed. Mockery of the soft ones. The alien warlords convened in their blood-drenched throne world, celebrating their easy victory. Earth bleeds at the throat, one hissed. They hide behind words, behind treaties and councils. They cannot strike back, another sneered. Across galactic channels the sentiment spread. Humanity, respected for their science, their diplomacy, their patience, was declared powerless. Old rivals chuckled. Traitors muttered that the Terrans would retreat, nurse their wounds, and beg for mercy. The Karzul boasted in open comms. They sent fragments of shattered human ships into neutral markets as trophies. They joked about eating Terran children, about turning Earth itself into an open farm. They believed the story was finished. Humans defeated, humanity humiliated. They did not understand what patience truly meant. They did not understand what silence from Earth truly signified. The silence before the storm. For a time, there was only quiet. No declarations, no threats, no pleading. The human channels went dark. Civilian broadcasts ceased. The galaxy leaned in, listening, waiting for the sound of surrender. Instead, something else stirred. Scouts reported strange movements in Terran space, fleets vanishing from ports, shipyards burning with relentless activity, dry docks sealed shut. Convoys of freighters disappeared into the void, their cargoes unknown. The silence became heavy, suffocating. Then came the first whisper across the encrypted comm-nets. Earth does not forgive, Earth does not forget. Moments later, deep space relays lit up with chilling new signals. Human dreadnoughts, unseen for generations, emerging from their cold slumber. Massive vessels, kilometers long, their hulls scarred by ancient wars but reborn with modern fire. Their engines burned like blue suns. And behind them, shadows darker still, war forms never before revealed. Machines whispered of only in rumor. Autonomous warships, storm-drop carriers, strike craft faster than thought. The silence was over. The response unleashed. It began not with words, but with annihilation. The Karzul patrols along the outer colonies vanished. Entire fleets gone without even distress calls. Stations drifted silent, their crews vanished, their cores slagged into glass. Then came the broadcasts, not boasting, not threats, just a single phrase transmitted on every Karzul frequency. "We are coming." The galaxy froze. Worlds that had mocked humanity now trembled, trade routes diverted. Neutrals erased Terran flags from their markets, afraid even to be associated. Old enemies reconsidered grudges, watching with unease. And then, in perfect synchronized silence, Earth's fleets moved. Hundreds of dreadnoughts surged into Karzul space, blotting out stars with their bulk. Carriers unleashed wings of strike craft like swarms of silver locusts. Human infantry, clad in powered armor and wielding weapons that tore molecules apart, dropped onto hostile worlds like falling thunder. There was no grand declaration of war, no diplomatic ultimatum, just a cold, methodical execution of vengeance. The fire of retribution. The battle for the Karzul fortress world of Zyrak became legend. The Karzul had fortified it for centuries. Planetary shields, orbital cannons the size of mountains, fleets layered in defense. They expected a siege, drawn out and bloody. Instead, humanity arrived like a storm. Human dreadnoughts advanced in silence, their hulls black against the burning stars. Then their weapons spoke. Mass drivers hurled slugs at near-light speed, tearing through shields and ripping cities apart with shockwaves felt on the far side of the planet. Orbital cannons cracked, one by one, silenced in bursts of white fire. When the shield finally failed, human drop pods screamed through the atmosphere like meteors. Cities burned under their descent. And then the soldiers emerged. Clad in black steel, faceless behind mirrored visors, they moved with ruthless precision. Every shot, every strike was efficient. They did not rage, did not taunt. They simply advanced, extinguishing resistance with cold inevitability. Karzul warriors feared across the galaxy, charged in blind fury. They were cut down in disciplined bursts of fire. Their champions roared challenges. Humans answered with silence and execution. The fortress world fell in a single week. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. The collapse of arrogance. The Karzul panicked. Their once proud fleets shattered, retreating deeper into their territories. Their commanders who once mocked humanity now issued frantic orders: fortify, withdraw, survive. But Earth did not pursue with reckless fury. Humanity advanced like a tide, unstoppable but deliberate. Every system taken was secured, every stronghold reduced with merciless efficiency. The Karzul soon realized the true horror. Humanity was not fighting for conquest. They were not burning worlds for glory. They were executing vengeance with surgical precision. Every site connected to the Raisos IV massacre was targeted. Every commander who signed the order was hunted. Not one was left alive. The galaxy watched in dread. Species who had once mocked humanity now whispered prayers to never draw their wrath. Old enemies erased propaganda, terrified their past words might invite the same storm. When the guns fell silent, and then, as suddenly as it began, it ended. The human fleets halted at the border of Karzul space. Their weapons powered down. Their banners, black, crimson, and silver, hung in the void like warnings carved into the stars. The final message was not boastful. It was not cruel. It was cold. Raisos IV is avenged. This is your only warning. Harm Earth again, and there will be nothing left to bury. And then they left. The fleets withdrew, vanishing back into Terran space as silently as they had emerged. No conquest, no occupation, just ruin left behind. The Karzul Empire once feared was broken. Entire worlds smoldered, fleets reduced to rust. Survivors stared into the ashes and whispered a single vow: never provoke Earth again. Whispers in the shadows. The galaxy learned that day what silence meant. Humanity's patience was not weakness, it was a warning. They would negotiate, they would reason, they would extend every hand of peace until peace was betrayed. And when when the line was crossed, they did not rage. They did not scream. They simply answered with annihilation. Now in council halls and smuggler dens, in academies and war rooms, the story is told in hushed tones. Humans faced the deadliest aliens and walked away respected. Respected not for mercy. Respected not for conquest. Respected because they revealed what lay beneath the mask of patience. Infinite vengeance, carried out with surgical, unstoppable wrath. The galaxy will never forget.